Cup starting next week, I just want to talk about Australia's 15-man squad. Just want to quickly analyse the one factor in Australia's 15-man squad. Now, before I talk about that, their squad looks quite similar to last year's 50-over World Cup with just a few changes. Now, you got two returning players from injury, Ashton Agar and Nathan Ellis. Nathan Ellis is currently in very good form at the moment. Also, Steve Smith's been dropped. And you got two reserves, Jake Fraser-McGurk and Matt Short. And Jake Fraser-McGurk's had a wonderful IPL, really, really good IPL as an opener or batting at number 3. Anyway, so I want to analyse the main factor. And a few weeks ago, when I watched Sunday Sports, Mark Taylor talked about his main worry of his only worry in the Australian squad, and that is there's a vacancy in the anchor role position at number 4. So with the absence of Steve Smith, who would fill that position? Who would dig Australia out of trouble if the first 3 wickets fell? If Warner, Marsh, and Head fell cheaply, who would be the one player that would actually dig Australia out of trouble? Who would get them to a solid score and make a good total for themselves, but also help Australia from what could be from a really bad start to a really good finish. Now, there are two players, but I think this one player would do a lot better, and I think it's Josh Inglis. Josh Inglis, batting at number 4, if the selectors pick him at number 4, I think he'd be the perfect man to fill in Steve Smith's position, who's been an anchorer for many years, but he's been dropped because of his opening stints and hasn't been great at the top. But for years before that, he's been batting at 4, and he's actually done very well batting at number 4. He's gotten Australia out of trouble. He's made runs. I think that's what Josh Inglis should do if he's batting at number 4 and not opening. I think, like he could, if Australia's in trouble early, he could just swat a couple of singles, hit a couple of 2s, then start scoring runs slowly to just get the bowlers. Just wear the bowlers down, get the bowlers tired, then he'll just play aggressive. That's how it works. And I think Josh Inglis would be the perfect man for that role. Batting at number 4, just anchoring Australia out of trouble from a really bad start, getting them to a good total, getting himself to making a good score for himself. And I think, like, I watched the warm-up today. I saw the scores today for the Australia-West Indies warm-up game, and he made 55 batting at number 3. So, number 4. He made 55 batting at number 4. So with the loss of Warner, Agar, and Marsh early on, Josh Inglis just took Australia out of trouble. Now, they lost the game just now against West Indies by 35 runs, but Josh Inglis's resistance of just helping Australia to a commanding position, and he made 55. That is the type of bloke that could help Australia. That is the type of player that could help Australia get to a good total, help Australia win the game by if they're chasing, by getting a number 4 player who could anchor Australia out of trouble. Just set aside a couple of runs, start off defensive, then go aggressive, and I think he'd be the type of player to do that. I've repeated that a few times. He'd be the type of player to do that. Now, I think the second batsman who could do it as well is Cameron Green. Now, he's opened before for Australia in the T20s. He's done very well in the IPL, and he's a number 3 ODI batsman when Marnus is not there. And I think at number 3, he's done perfectly well. It was against West Indies. And same with Josh Inglis when he opened the batting against West Indies this summer in the ODIs, and also did it against India last year where he scored a couple of 100, a couple of 50s. Cameron Green's done the same thing, and he's slowly he's that type of player as well who takes his time, scores a few quick boundaries early on, but then he just takes his time, then starts going aggressive. So I think those two are, if the selectors want either 2 at number 4, it doesn't matter who it is, both of them are perfect for that anchor role position.